access to the agenda will be able to access the meeting link if they wish to participate.
Okay, and you want me to start over or continue?
If you could start over, that would be great. Thank
Sure.
you.
I call to order this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment for Loyalist Township, Monday, April 7th, 2025. It is 6:02. This meeting will be recorded and saved so that the public can participate and watch online. This meeting is being live streamed and recorded, but the live stream is not working, so it'll be available on the township website. Notice is hereby provided under the authority of the Municipal Act 2001 in accordance with the Municipal Freedom of Information Protection of Privacy Act, that all information obtained is considered part of the public record. Confirmation of the agenda. Can I have a confirmation of the agenda, please? Moved by Ms. Hasnick, seconded by Councillor Willis. All in favor? That is carried. Are there any disclosure of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof? Seeing and hearing none, we'll move on to the adoption of the minutes. We have a mover. We have Committee of Adjustment, March 3rd, 2025. Are there any errors or omissions noted? Seeing and hearing none, could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Mr. James, seconded by Councillor Willis. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Public meeting. D13-2025-0002, 13 Edgewood Road, Ross Carter and Thatcher Carter. Does staff have anything to share?
Yes. So through you, Mr. Chair, the proposed application on 13 Edgewood Road proposes to build a detached garage closer to the street line than the existing building. Staff are recommending approval of the application as it meets the four tests of minor variance. First, the general intent and purpose of the official plan is met, as the type of development is keeping with the area, and the requested variance will continue the existing residential use as permitted in the fringe area designation. Second, the general intent and the purpose of the zoning bylaw is met, and the proposed use is permitted and will not negatively affect the streetscape or conflict with neighboring uses. Third, the requested variance is considered an appropriate development of land, as the detached garage will not impact the current use of the property of residential purpose and will maintain the general character of the area. Fourth, the variance can consider minor, as the request will not negatively impact neighboring properties and green space on the property. Therefore, staff are recommending the approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone on the committee have any questions for clarification or information? Okay, seeing there are none, is the applicant in attendance online?
Through the chair, I believe one of the applicants is here, so I will let them in as a panelist.
Hi there.
Hi, do you have anything to add or anything to say on the matter?
I don't. We've talked to our neighbors and they don't seem to have too much of trouble with it. And we're hoping it will match the kind of character of the house as well. So we're looking forward to having a garage.
Okay. Anyone on the committee have any questions for the applicant? No? Okay. Is there anyone in the virtual audience that wishes to speak to the item?
Through the chair, I don't see anybody in the virtual audience with their hand up wishing to speak on this matter.
Okay. So we have a recommendation then. Let me just pull it up here. The recommendation that the report from the Development Services Division dated April 7th, 2025, re 13 Edgewood Road, Ross Carter and Thatcher Carter be received, and that the minor variance application D13-2025-0002 affecting property described as Lot 13, Plan 838, TWLA 245069, ST interest in LA 245069, ST LA 40222, Loyalist Township in the County of Langston, Addington, and more particularly at 13 Edgewood Road, to build a detached garage closer to the street line than the existing building, section 4.12, be approved subject to the following condition, that the variance only applies to the location as identified in the drawing submitted with the application. Do I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Willis, seconded by the mayor. All in favor? Okay, that is carried. Thank you, Thatcher, for your attendance, and you're good to
Thank you
go.
so much. Thank you.
Okay, next item. Next item is a public meeting, DR 13-2025-0003, 353 Main Street, Ron Tasker and Bonnie Crook. Welcome, staff. And again, do you have any information to share on this item?
Yes. Through you, Mr. Chair, the proposed application for 353 Main Street proposes to reduce the interior side yard setback where it abuts a residential zone from 5 meters to 4.95 meters and to reduce the floodplain setback from 5 meters to 12 meters to recognize the setback from the existing building. Staff are recommending approval of the application as it meets the 4 tests of minor variance. First, the general intent and purpose of the official plan is met as the type of development is in keeping with the area and the requested variance is consistent with the commercial designation. Second, the general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw is met as the proposed use is permitted and will not create hazard or adverse effect on the current use of property. Third, the requested variance is considered appropriate land development as it will not cause any negative impact on the privacy of surrounding property or cause any natural hazard concerns. Fourth, the variance can be considered minor as the setback reduction will not negatively affect the streetscapes or neighboring property and there is sufficient buffer to protect the floodplain and surrounding environment. Therefore, staff are recommending the approval for this minor variance. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone on the committee have any questions for the staff? Okay, not seeing any. Is the applicant in attendance? Do they wish to speak to the item?
Through the chair, it does not appear the applicant is here to speak on the matter.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone in the virtual audience that wishes to speak to the item? If there is, please raise your hand and we'll bring you into the meeting.
So through to the chair, there's no one in the virtual audience wishing to speak on this matter.
Thank you. So I'll read the recommendation that the report from the Development Services Division dated April 7th, 2025, read 353 Main Street, Ron Tasker and Bonnie Crook be received at the minor variance application D13-2025-0003, affecting property described as part lot 10, concession broken front Ernesttown, as in LA 134594, except part 229R6471, Loyalist, more particularly located at 353 Main Street in Bath, to reduce the interior side yard setback where it abuts a residential zone from 5 meters to 4.95 meters and reduce the floodplain setback from 15 meters to 12 meters to recognize the setbacks for the existing building be approved subject to the following conditions. 1, the variance only applies to locations identified on the drawing submitted with the application. And 2, the owner applicant shall obtain a retroactive permit from the Cataraqui Region Conservation Authority. Do I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Ms. Hajnik, seconded by Councillor Willis. Anybody have further comments? Seeing none, call the question. All in favor? And that motion is carried. Number 6, decisions. D10-007-2023-570 Main Street, Bath, Stephen Adam Collings, severance request to change or add a consent condition. Staff, do we have anything we wish to add to that?
Through you, Mr. Chair, this is just a decision and not a public meeting, so I'll be giving a quick overview or brief on the matter. So the purpose of this report is to outline a request to add a condition to a previously approved consent application. The file number of the application is D10-007-2023. The consent application was previously approved at July 4, 2023 Committee of Adjustment meeting. So as the applicant works towards satisfying the conditions of the provisionally approved consent, staff identified that a road widening condition along the frontage of the subject property was inadvertently omitted from the original set of approved conditions. No other modifications to the previously approved conditions are proposed, and all the existing conditions will remain in effect. The requirement aligns with long-standing practice, as in the requirement to get the road widening aligns with the long-standing practice and is supported by the Planning Act and the Township's official plan. The applicant was advised of the oversight and the requirement for the conveyance of the land under the Planning Act and the official plan. The applicant acknowledged and agreed to the requirement and provided a formal letter confirming their understanding and requesting the change of condition to include the road widening requirement. Accordingly, staff recommend that condition number 12 requires the applicant to provide land sufficient to 13 meters from the center line of the traveled municipal road along the retained portions and severed portions to be deeded to the township for road widening purposes. Staff does recommend approval of the requested change of condition to add condition number 12 regarding the conveyance of land for road widening purposes through the staff report. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions to staff from anyone on the committee? Seeing and hearing none. Is the applicant online, and do they wish to speak to the item?
Through to the chair, it does not appear the applicant is online to speak to the item.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone in the virtual audience? If you are there and you wish to speak to the item, please use your raised hand feature and we'll let you into the meeting.
Through to the chair, there's no one in the virtual audience.
Okay. We have a recommendation that the report from the Development Services Division dated April 7th, 2025 regarding 570 Main Street, Bath, Steve and Adam Collings, Severance, request to change and add consent condition be received, and that an additional condition, number 12, be added to the previously provisionally approved conditions 1 to 11, all which remain valid and relevant, with the added condition as follows. 12, the applicant shall provide land sufficient to provide 13 meters from the center line of the traveled municipal road along the retained portions and severed portions to be deeded to the township for widening purposes. Do we have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Willis, seconded by Mr. James. Does anyone have any further comments on this? Seeing and hearing none, call the question. All in favor? And that motion is passed. We have no other business that I'm aware of. And our upcoming next meeting will be May 3rd, 2025. Could I get the favorite motion to adjourn? Moved by the mayor, seconded by Councillor Willis. All in favor? And that is carried, and I believe is approximately 6:16. Thank you all.